What the hell? What was that? Resident Evil 2? I guess since it came at me, I might as well play it. Putting the assault aside, considering the season, I guess it's really fitting that I'm playing this game. I'm actually looking forward to it, since I never actually finished a survival horror game before. And if the internet is anything to go by, this is actually a really good game to start with. Now, question is, will the game let me finish it, or does it have a more stressful, sinister plan in store for me? Well, to find that out, we have to choose who to play as first. And after careful consideration, I chose the badass Claire for my first playthrough. Now, before starting this game, I wanted something to help me from getting scared, so I decided to wear what I thought could keep me safe, an Animal Crossing beanie. The game starts off with a PSA about keeping your eyes on the road. Then we cut to Claire, jinxing us from the jump. Soon after we gain control of her, we do the thing that scary movies taught us not to do. We investigate a random noise. Inside the gas station, we ignore all the red flags until we get our first zombie, who immediately hits an overconfident cop. After a couple of shots and then running for the exit like we should have done from the beginning, we meet Leon, the other player character. Being surrounded, Leon and Claire decide it's best to hijack a cop car and leave for the police station. Unfortunately, there's a roadblock and a lot of zombies. Fortunately, PSA truck driver hits us from behind, saving us from the zombies, but also separates us from Leon. Since the car exploded and Truck-kun didn't make this an isekai story, we have to run to the police station while avoiding zombies. Upon arriving at the police station, we see there's a lot of body bags all around the front stairs, which, on a side note here, got me by surprise. The fuck? Oh. Oh. Inside we see a computer, and on it, a security camera. In the footage, we see a guy asking for help, so we head towards a bloody passageway to see if we can help the poor guy. Now, a quick interruption here, just to say that I'm glad that this game allows you to move while aiming, and I know what you're thinking. Isn't this your first Resident Evil? And while it is my first time finishing a survival horror game, it's not my first Resident Evil. My first being 5, but that game is more like a horror team action game, more than survival horror. Worried for the poor guy, we head directly there with no sidetracking to speak of. Once we arrive, we witness the first bit of "God damn, what the hell happened" of this game, as the poor guy's legs don't make it past the door with him. The good news is, we get a notebook. The commotion then attracts so many zombies, our only hope is to run back to where we came from. The security door seems to have come down a bit, and we almost turned Claire into a midnight snack. Lucky for us, a good cop called Marvin is around and delays our snack status for now. He then reads our new notebook in exchange for a knife, and let us know we might be able to escape this place. After Marvin tells us to leave him the hell alone, we start the search for what the hell we need to do now. Thankfully, our options are limited at the moment. Once we open a security door and head towards another dark, bloody hallway, we are slowly swallowed by the eerie atmosphere as more and more zombies start to get in our way. We even pass by a zombie so hungry he is willing to take a snack from a vending machine. But apparently, he can hear the neurons activating from our brains as he comes in to eat us when we are trying to solve our first puzzle. How rude. Some puzzles that you find in the game are not mandatory, though they do have some good resources that, depending on your skills, might be a necessity at some point. They also have clues. You might not find the clues in the same area that you find the puzzle in. Thankfully for me, this first puzzle had the clues in the same room and was very useful. After getting what we could from the armory, we arrived at our first safe room. These rooms became more and more comforting for me as the game went on, since nothing can hurt you there, though the eerie music never made it feel 100% safe. After heading up the stair and going through room after room, with not much happening, we see one of the worst enemies crawling outside the window, making me stress at how long I've gone while being safe. After finally finding 2 statues that showed up in our notebook, we head to Marvin since he had called a few minutes ago. He shows us that Leon showed up outside, so we go to see if we can let our booty call in. When we are almost to Leon, a helicopter falls on the sky and crashes into the building. And while talking to booty call, the helicopter rudely decides to blow up, cutting our meeting short. Frustrated, we call for plan B, but he doesn't answer, so we hurry back to see why he isn't picking up. After getting back to main hall, we immediately check on Marvin to see if he's okay before we continue with our exploration of the police station. Huh? We completely ignore him? Even though we pass him by several times? Oh well. After getting some side things here and there, which included a grenade launcher, we headed back upstairs since we can finally turn off the shower. While up there, we see a blind zombie crawler eating a normal zombie. But before he can even finish him, we go inside the closest room where we gather our stuff and wait for the creepy thing to leave. After leaving the room, I made it to the corner of the hallway where the creepy thing surprised me. Since it's blind, we're able to slowly back up to the room, then get out as soon as we heard him leave. Then we exchanged a book for a gem, which led us to finally checking in on Marvin out of the kindness of our heart, not because we were missing an item that we didn't know the location of. Getting the urge to sightsee to celebrate Marvin being alright, we spent nearly 30 minutes going everywhere I had been to see if there was something I had missed. Bored of the tour of the police station after so long, we decided to use the timer we just found to blow up some C4 we had seen before, effectively getting the last thing that was in our notebook. Happy that we can finally get out, we decide to share the news with Marvin. But due to the zombie rabies, he decides it best to have us leave on our own. Going into the passage foretold in the old text, we see that it heads underground. Down a few stairs, we hear steps which we follow to find a girl. But when we ask if she needs help, she goes, "Nah, you need it though." Before we can process what she said, she tells us it's behind us, right as the monster takes us down into a boss fight. This fight isn't really that hard, as long as you brought your weapons and keep a distance. Once we defeat it, we get the girl to lower a ladder for us to escape from the boss arena. Since we agreed to help the girl find her mom, we followed her lead now. We almost immediately run to a dead end when a police officer takes us by surprise and successfully kidnaps Sherry. But since we don't have a keycard, we are able to rescue her immediately. While looking for the keycard, I had a couple of close calls, including one where if my reflexes were a frame late to open the inventory to heal, it would be my end. While looking around, we find an elevator that took us to what I assume to be the police asshole's office, where we see the keycard behind bars. Too bad the mechanism to open it is broken, so to look for a way to fix it in the police station we go. We find the first piece easily in the room pretty much on top of the office. Then, the only way I have left to go is towards the helicopter that is in flames. I should mention that since this game has been out for a while, I've gotten spoiled on some things. One of those things being Mr. X and his Terminator-like presence from the point of the helicopter onwards. So admittedly, I was procrastinating a little bit until I was ready. But man, even knowing that he's pretty much unkillable, I was not expecting him to be so goddamn fast. I got used to his speed after he bit the shit out of me, so now we're able to go to the library. While there, we hear his footsteps, and in a panic due to not seeing him, I get killed by a blind zombie. That son bitch. Taking another route to avoid repeating my mistakes, I managed to find something that I was missing as well as Mr. X, which I 100% was suspecting. Oh shit! Why? After losing him and going on a tour, I decided to save, only to hear him walk around outside the safe room, making me more stressed. It doesn't take him long to leave, so I head to the main hall and see that Marvin is a zombie. No time to grift though, as Mr. X finds me once again. I'm able to get to the library in one piece and move the shelves around so I can access the bell room where the last piece I need is. Here, you move some gears around to make the bell ring, making it collapse with the piece. I'm surprised I wasn't attacked as soon as I walked out of the room due to the loud noise. With the piece in hand, I head back to the office and solve the jail cell puzzle. And right when we are about to get the keycard, Police Dick, Chief, calls us, after which we switch control from Claire to Cherry. Cherry's section of the game is just sneaking around and avoiding the Chief. The only issue I had in this section was that I thought that I had to take the keys from him instead of needing to wait for him to leave it in the bathroom door. After successfully reaching the end, the boss from before attacks the Chief, giving us control of Claire once again. With Claire, we head back to the parking lot to open it since we have the keycard now. While waiting for the gate to open, Mr. X decides it's the perfect time to remind us that he exists, scaring the hell out of me. We are, however, still alive, so to the orphanage we continue. Once there, we go inside just to witness the final moments of the Chief, and after making sure he was gone good, we find a ladder leading on the ground. There, we find Cherry safe, but we aren't, as Mr. X arrives right behind us, prompting a chase that ends when Cherry's dad kills Mr. X, and the elevator we are on falls, knocking us unconscious. We wake up with a scientist shining a flashlight on us, and with Cherry missing. Finding out how little Cherry's mom is concerned for her safety, we drop right down to the sewers to find her. While trying to figure out if I was going the right way, we hear Cherry talking to her mom, who, being busy, decides it's best to leave Cherry to faint in a zombie-infested sewer rather than taking her. Determined to rescue the girl, we struggle to find where we are supposed to be heading. Being poisoned and almost killed helped me to finally find a tape, but not just any tape, a critical tape, telling the heroic story of a mercenary squad conquering a foul beast. Wait, is that all they could do to him? Man, I had a better time, and I was only a civilian. Inspired by our newly found confidence in ourselves, we pushed through some more stressful encounters to finally find where we are supposed to be going. But along the way, our confidence was shattered by a sewer zombie. After another fight with that of the year, we finally reached Cherry, where we see a cutscene of Mom of the Year not wanting to treat her own sick child. Fortunately for us, she lets us slip there might be a cure in a lab not too far from where we are, so to the lab we go. After reaching a room with a bed, we change our jacket for a bracelet and we go towards the vaccine. In the labs, we need to find bracelet keys with better clearance to keep moving forward. Since this is the lab where the viruses are created, we encounter a new type of zombie, Plant Zombie. I wonder on whose side this guy would be in Plant vs. Zombie. This guy is weak to fire, and if you burn them enough, they will completely stop being a nuisance. After some puzzle solving, we head even further underground, where we get tag team, and I realized before I even get killed that I was screwed. After getting my act together and solving some more puzzles, I got another bracelet key upgrade and headed back to take another route since now I have clearance. As a seasoned gamer, although I'm not that good, I was able to pick up that this area looked suspicious. So I took all my weapons and bullets out of the safe, and after getting the vaccine, my gaming instincts were proven correct, as the parents of the year show up and I have to take on William once again. This fight was hard as I barely scraped by since I ran out of every type of bullet except for the handgun bullet, as well as running out of healing items. Once victorious, we make our way back to Cherry, in where we see that her mom decided to act like a mom and cured Cherry just before she passes away, telling us to get the hell out of there with Cherry before the whole lab explodes. Now comes the part where I really don't know how I made it through, since I'm decent when trying to beat a target time, but I'm really bad and make a lot of mistakes when trying to beat a timer. I'm just glad that that of the year is out of the way for good, right? After taking an elevator down and running for a bit, we run into a locked door where Cherry offers to open from the other side, immediately making my paranoid ass draw my weapon and turn around, and sure enough, enemies started popping up. Once the door opened, I saw the train and my gamer senses started tingling. But why? Mr. X and that of the year are out. Why is this place making my senses trigger? At first, my denial made me think it was just a checkpoint, but once I found a Gatling gun, I couldn't deny it anymore. Something was coming. After a brief talk with Leon, William dropped in, looking even more monstrous. But after all the Gatling bullets and some revolver shots, we are able to finish him off for good. This time for sure. We then get the celebratory ending cutscene of Leon and Claire reuniting, but it seems to cut off too soon. Well, at least we're done with the game and there's nothing more to experience here. Wait, he isn't dead? How do I even fight him? That's where the second run comes in. And since I did my first run with the badass Claire, now it's the turn of the ever lovely Leon to shine. With the second run, the beginning is a bridge, as you begin outside the station in a makeshift graveyard. From there, we notice that we're in the helicopter crash scene, but from the outside perspective now. First thing I notice once we regain control is that zombies move faster and stagger more, making headshots a lot harder. We also find our first weapon way faster than before, as it is in the same room as our police uniform. Side note, Leon here gets some extra cool points with the sideways aiming of the second gun. Why is he carrying it sideways? Really cool. With the uniform and gun, we find the kid to get inside the police station, and from here there isn't much difference gameplay wise to Claire, though the different order of visiting places as well as some new rooms are a welcome change. An unwelcome change, on the other hand, is Mr. X roaming around immediately instead of coming after. There is also a lot less bullets, making conserving bullets 1,000 times more important than in the first run. All of these combined made for an actually stressful atmosphere, as well as making me genuinely scared in places. That being said, the objective is still the same: get the medallions to escape the police station. So on we go, which didn't take us long, though I did struggle quite a bit with the new speed and staggering of the enemies, and getting jump scared from a few zombies popping up in places where there weren't any before. I did however start getting used to it, and once I had the shotgun, getting all the medallions was a breeze. Once on the ground, we make short work of William, since the boss fight isn't much different compared to the first one. Though with Leon we never saw anybody, so the ladder dropping after the fight prompts Leon to suspect someone was watching. With no time to stay and think, we make our way to the parking lot, which is locked, and while thinking out loud on what to do, a dog attacks us, and we are saved by an FBI agent who tells us to stop asking questions and get out. Following the agent, we somehow miss her, but find a guy who meets a gruesome end right in front of our eyes while telling us we need his help. Conveniently, the agent appears once again to let us know that a lot of shady things were going on behind the scenes for everything to turn out this way. We now also know what to call her: Ada. One thing is clear though, the idiot that died really had the only key out, so we need to open the jail cell, and for that we need puzzle keys. After a bit of running around, turning the power on, and getting my ass kicked by dogs, we find ourselves in the police station once again, searching for those puzzle pieces. Now, for some reason here, I got lost and lapped the whole police station like 1,000 times, passing by the lever that I needed for the library shelves like 1,000 times. If I had my head on straight, I could have saved approximately 45 minutes here and a whole bunch of bullets. My eyes did eventually start working, so I was able to see the lever while fleeing from Mr. X. Almost immediately, I managed to get both puzzle pieces and make my way back to the cell and open it. After getting the parking permit to open the lot, an alarm sounds, making us run right into the arms of Mr. X, making Ada have to rescue us again. As thanks, we join her on her rainy night walk. That's right when we meet a dad and his infected daughter, which ends in a very sad way. Now, since I have a child of my own, my eyes started to water, but I needed to go on, so on we went to the sewers. As if I didn't feel like shit after that display, I was about to make Leon smell like it too. In there, we see a huge alligator, which makes me his snack instantly. After making sure we pay him back, we have a discussion with Ada about how we thought that the virus only affected people, despite a repeated fight against dogs, as well as how their goal is to sell the virus as a weapon of war. After we finish talking, we run into Ada's target and Mom of the Year, Annette. She didn't waste time and shot Leon in the arm while escaping. As we see Leon pass out, we gain control of Ada and her hacking gun. as she runs after Annette looking for the virus. With Ada, we manage to hack our way through, evading Mr. X and finally catching up with Annette. Unfortunately, she burns us alive, so we regain control of Leon. Wait, that's not how it goes? God damn it, I really need to stop mixing these. Ah, here it is. We are able to hack our way out of the furnace before getting cooked alive, only for her to almost flatten us, leaving Ada injured in the waist area. Once we regain control of Leon, our objective is simply to find the missing Ada. Once we see she is in deep shit and with what seems to be a horde trying to break in, we notice that the only thing preventing us from saving her is the chess piece puzzle. Since I knew the rough locations, I went straight for them. I did however struggle down here since I had barely any bullets. It was to the point where I almost got trapped if it wasn't for the flamethrower that was there. With all the pieces in hand and some more shotgun bullets, I made my way to finish the puzzle and head out. Too bad for me, my brain turned off, so I struggled for 5 minutes just to get the door open. By some miracle or by some neurons waking up, I was finally on my way to Ada. Sadly, Annette's husband had other ideas, and so began round 2 with the beast. In this fight, I somehow managed to avoid hitting him, despite him being right where the trailer moves. Still though, I managed to throw him off the platform and we are free to move as we like. Finally opening the garbage door, we help an injured Ada head towards the lab. This scene made me ask the most profound of questions. How is she walking in high heels with an injured leg? After stuff between Leon and Ada got a bit steamy, we arrive at the lab, and leaving Ada behind, we go to find the virus. One thing I was making sure to do was get any bullets or gunpowder I could find, since I knew I had to fight William one last time soon. This led to backtracking in ways I hadn't in the first run. I did also try to cheat and put codes that I had screenshotted in the first run. For some reasons, they decided to change the one here, making me have to suffer through this place as normal. Once I got the codes needed, and taking way too long on the serum minigame, I made my way to the bracelet key, and my god did the appearance of Mr. X scare the life out of me, since he wasn't in the labs in Claire's side, so I wasn't expecting it. Heading back to the vaccine side, we find the virus, as well as signs of Claire being here. Heading back to Ada, we get ambushed by William as suspected, and we try to kick his ass one last time. Though considering what we went through on the first run, we are likely to see him once more. After the fight with William, we briefly talk with Annette, who tells us Ada is a mercenary and not FBI. With this knowledge, we confront Ada. We however get interrupted by a shot from Annette that prompts the fall of Ada and the race to get out to begin. Taking a short elevator ride, we have a video call with Claire. After getting cut off and struggling to run around plant zombies, we encounter Mr. X once again, and even after we think he's finally dead, he comes out of the flames, shirtless, ready to open a can of whoop ass. And as much as I tried to resist, he successfully opened it. Just couldn't get the timing of the claw rush attack right. With time and patience, I did eventually defeat Daddy X, thanks to Ada throwing me a rocket launcher. How the hell she even survived that fall? Moving on, we have an action movie star ending of jumping to the escaping train as the lab explodes with no William rematch on site. Now to enjoy the ending. Or not, as we gain control once again and investigate the noise to find that, surprise, William is a demon blob now. But after emptying my whole supply of bullets, we defeat William in a cutscene, stabbing him in his eye, as we finally get the ending we deserve of Leon, Claire, and Cherry walking off into the sunrise, having survived one hell of a night. To conclude, I'm still not the target demographic for horror games, though I do acknowledge that I enjoyed my time with Resi 2. Most of the things that I enjoyed was the challenge, as well as some of the story. Some of the backtracking did pull on my love of Metroidvanias, like Bloodstain and Symphony of the Night. So while I really don't know if this entry point convinced me to try more horror games, it did at least convince me to try the Resident Evil franchise. Now for my tips section, I really don't have much. When it comes to shooter games, no matter if it's first person or third person, I really struggle with them a lot. Now I do have some advice for newcomers like me. You don't have to kill all the zombies. You can, in most cases, run around them, give them headshots to stun them, as well as cut a leg off, so they'll crawl on the floor. These techniques of avoiding zombies becomes almost a necessity in the second run, since there's a lot less bullets than in the first. My other advice is don't be afraid to backtrack, especially when you open up a new pathway, since most of them have bullets, resources like healing items, as well as weapon attachments. Also, if you find yourself stuck with no new rooms to explore, open your map and find the red rooms. Red means that you're missing something in that room. That's probably the key item that you're missing. Well, with that, I would like to thank you all for watching. I also apologize if the video quality is less than the previous videos, as my main computer took a vacation on me. Hopefully we can get it back soon, so we can continue to learn and improve our videos. That being said, maul the like button on your way out, since he owes me money for the medical bills I need soon.